I live about 30 miles outside Portland in a small suburban neighborhood where people mostly keep to themselves. It's the kind of place where nothing big ever happens, where the streets get quiet by 8 p.m. and the sound of rain against the rooftops is about as loud as it gets. It was a cold Tuesday night, early spring. The rain had been falling steadily all afternoon, and by the time I got home from work around 9, everything was soaked. I warmed up some leftover chili, kicked off my boots, and settled into the couch, ready to zone out in front of the TV. Then I heard it, a knock. Not soft, not rushed. 3 slow, deliberate knocks on my front door. I stood up, confused. No one ever drops by unannounced out here, especially not this late, and especially not in the middle of a storm. I peeked through the peephole and saw a man standing on my porch. He was wearing a black raincoat, soaked through. His shoulders were slumped, and his face was blank, like he hadn't blinked in a while. When I asked if I could help him, his voice was low, flat, and emotionless. He said his dog had run off, and he was wondering if I'd seen her. A golden retriever, he said. I told him no, I hadn't seen anything. He nodded slowly, but before walking off, he looked past me, into my house, not around the porch, not at my face, right past me, like he was checking if the door was open wide enough to step through. I shut and locked it fast. About 10 minutes later, I heard the same knock, same rhythm, same guy. This time, he told me he saw his dog run around the back of my house and asked if he could go look. Something in the way he said it felt wrong, like he was reading from a script. Still, trying not to cause a scene, I told him he could check the yard, but I made it clear he needed to walk around the outside, not through the house. He nodded again. And as I was closing the door, he leaned in, just a little, like he expected me to invite him in. I locked it fast and went to the kitchen window to watch the backyard. A few minutes passed, nothing. I turned away for a second, and when I looked back, his face was right there, up against the glass, fogging it with his breath. He asked again if I was sure his dog wasn't inside. I told him no, shouted at him to leave. But he didn't move. He just kept knocking. Not hard, not loud, just enough to let me know he wasn't going anywhere. And with every knock, he repeated the same sentence, like he wasn't really talking to me anymore. She could be inside. She could be inside. I finally grabbed my phone and called the police. As soon as he saw me raise the phone, he turned and walked away, slow and calm, like none of it had been urgent to begin with. Cops arrived maybe 15 minutes later. I gave them the description. They searched the area but didn't find anyone. It would have ended there. Except a week later, another house a few blocks away was broken into. Same setup, same description, same story. A man asking about his dog. Only that time the homeowners let him inside. And after that night, they stopped answering their door altogether. Moved out within the month. To this day, every time it rains, I sit a little closer to the window. I keep the porch light on. And if I ever hear 3 knocks on my door again, I'm not answering. Because I know it won't be a dog he's looking for.